Peace, what's good, y'all? It's your brother God Science up in here. Once again, shout out, special salute to the few that do watch the video. Subscribe, really appreciate y'all. What the hell is this dude doing in front of me, man? Yo, road rage, man. I need to, these people can't drive out here. Yo, salute to y'all, man. Just want to talk some hip hop for a minute right now. Now, I just saw a video. I forgot the name of the channel. No disrespect to him, but Suge Knight. Y'all know who Suge Knight is, right? Death Row, in jail, but he made a statement about Dr. Dre not producing the Chronic or DoggieStyle. Daz did it. Okay. Now, and I'm reading in the chat, and everybody is like, "Yep." Alright, if y'all believe that, y'all are some idiots. Do your research for one, alright? Now, two. Let's start with one, alright? We know that Dr. Dre left Death Row, and he was smart as hell to leave Death Row because what built Death Row was the music. When the Chronic came out, there was nothing like it. It was groundbreaking. I remember when I was in Brooklyn and I went and bought that album. That shit is the shit that grew Death Row. DoggieStyle came after that. That album should have got 5 mics. I always believe the Source didn't give them 5 mics because they were from the West Coast and they were hating a little bit. But that album deserved 5 mics. One of Dre's best productions he ever did. Now, a lot of people talked about the Chronic process. Did people bring ideas to the table? Of course. Warren G talked about that. He brought to the table. Daz did. He brought ideas to the table. Okay? You in the studio with people and they bring ideas to you. Doesn't mean that they produce the album. Do you know what producing? There's a difference between making a beat. I'm a producer, all right? I've been doing this shit since I was 15. I didn't just jump on it because everybody wants to be a producer and a rapper. So there's a difference between being a producer and being a beat maker. Being a beat maker is pushing the buttons. Yeah, it is being creative, chopping up the samples, blah, blah, blah. Then you have producers, and there is a producer that does the same thing, but are able to take other people's contributions and bring it in and put it in place and make something great out of it. Like a Quincy Jones that worked with Rod Templeton on Michael Jackson's greatest album of all time, Thriller. Quincy Jones produced it. But of course, Rod Templeton, he brought something to it, and he took that and he was able to mold it. That's a producer. So it doesn't mean that just because someone else does it, just like DJ Quick, he has a lot of musicians that play on his beats. He's dictating to them what to play, but they're playing it. He's still the producer because he's telling them what to play. He's orchestrating it, and you have people that come in like a Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire. This is what Dr. Dre is. Now, there's 2 things here. One, who the hell is gonna believe what Suge Knight has to say about Dre? He's in jail because of Dr. Dre, because of his inability to. Dre won. If you look at the whole story of Death Row, Dre won. He left without anything. Nothing but his talent. Nothing but his talent. He didn't make that album, Been There, Done That, from that album, The Aftermath, which didn't do commotion as well as his other albums, but he still has some hot shit on it. Daz did that. Chronic 2001. A classic. He didn't do that. Daz did that. He had brothers like Melly Mel, Mailman, who contributed to that album, and he gave him credit for it. Now, am I saying that Dre somebody who contributed to one of his songs, did he give everybody credit? No, of course he probably didn't. You have to pay your dues. That's how the game goes. But producers out there who in the game, they know what time it is with that. But he still produced that damn album. Listen to the Chronic mix. Listen to DoggieStyle mix. Listen to Chronic 2001 mix. I mean, the mix is incredible. Dr. Dre is a master of what he does. And now he's a fucking billionaire. And the dude that he left is in jail with nothing. So you gonna believe what he's saying? It sounds like animosity to me. You can't tell me anything about Dre because you're biased. You're jealous. You got a grudge with the dude. So why are you gonna come out and give Dr. Dre his props? You're not gonna do it because you're looking at him and he's a billionaire. He was where you was. He's past where you was because you lost sight of the music, bro. You started with the gang banging, and you know, I'm not saying Suge didn't do a lot of good, and he needs to tell his story because from what I've heard from a lot of interviews, he's done a lot of good, but he lost sight of what built Death Row. It's about the music. It's always about the music. It's not about the gang banging and beating people up and pissing on people in the studios. And you come into the studios. I mean, you listen to the Art of Dialogue interviews. These people say Death Row was worse than prison. That's a record label, man. And if anybody want to follow that blueprint, go ahead and see where you end up. It was about the music. So when he lost Dre, he lost Death Row. I wasn't listening to Death Row after, honestly, you know, everybody jumps on Tupac nutsack and not saying that he wasn't a great MC, a great revolutionary, a great human being, bigger than life figure. Tupac was all that. But I didn't like All Eyes on Me like that. I'm gonna just be honest. Some people out there can't. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. Because I didn't think Daz had some alright production, but it wasn't as magical and groundbreaking like Dre. Imagine Dre doing the whole album of All Eyes on Me. Come on, man. You can't tell me it would be better. Daz does his thing. I'm not taking anything from him, but it's nothing compared to what Dre was doing when he was dropping the Chronic, when he was dropping the Lady of Rage. So I mean, these singles, you can tell the sound of a Dre song. So yeah, please knock it off with that crap, Suge. Knock it off, man. Give that man his props. Get over it. Y'all ran him out. You shouldn't have let nobody in Death Row disrespect Dr. Dre. None of your blood homeboys or anything like that, because that dude is the producer. He is bringing in the money. Yeah, you doing your thing too, but you know, you should have dudes. Anybody show that man disrespect, you should have checked that. Like, yo, nah, that's Dr. Dre. Death Row is what it is because of Dr. Dre. NWA. Okay, Cube, everybody, all of them. Have you listened to Nigga for Life album? Do you hear the production on that? Daz did that too? Nah, it was him and Yella. So you can tell when Dre is involved in something, it's bigger than life. It blows up. It's not like normal. Now I listen to Dog Pound, Dog Food. It wasn't, now, not saying it was whack, but what if Dre did the whole album? Do you think it would sound better? Come on, man. Y'all use y'all sense, man. Use y'all sense, man. Come on. That dude is hating on Dre, basically. All right? He just hating on Dre. He mad that Dre got his catalog back. Snoop gave it to him. He just mad, man. So he gonna try to do everything he can do to discredit Dre. But Dre probably laughing. He ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. I mean, this dude has made hit after hit after hit. Who made Chronic 2001 then? That album took off. That's one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made. To me. It might not be as big as the Chronic, because when the Chronic came out, it was nothing like it. But everybody was copying that style when Dr. Dre came out. You can listen to Niggas for Life and see where Dre was going musically with that. I always say that's the prequel to the Chronic, because you can tell, you can hear the same tones and the same vibe that you see where he was going. In the Chronic, you can tell, you know, come on, man, y'all give that man his props and stop hating. And that's all Suge is doing. So I'm just saying, y'all, before y'all believe everything on the on YouTube, go and do your own research, man. You know what I'm saying? Go do your own research. And Suge is not in a position to talk about Dre. There's too much animosity there. You know what I'm saying? It's too much animosity there. It's like Dre won. Why you think he's in jail? He showed up at the Straight Outta Compton scene because of Dre. He can't get over it, man. So what? He's gonna tell the truth now? Sugar's telling the truth. Daz did everything. So why didn't Tupac album? I ain't even gonna go no more, man. I'm just out. Y'all just do your own research, man. And some of y'all don't even know shit about music. Some of y'all wasn't even born when the Chronic came out or followed Dre. Like, I was there when Dre dropped the first NWA album, and I'm a producer. So the first thing I used to do when I bought a album, a cassette, because back then there was cassettes, is read the credits and study that production. Study the production. Fascinated with that shit, man. How they did this? What equipment they used to make it, and I was always fascinated by that. So I knew that, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be a producer. You know what I mean? So y'all can't tell me that Dre ain't produced DoggieStyle. You can't tell me that, bro. And like I said, people you can bring things like Dr. Dre. If you listen to 2001, he has people playing like live bass and stuff on it. Does that mean he didn't produce it? Of course, he's dictating, play this. So you have musicians on there. Musicians playing. Just like Earth, Wind and Fire. Produced by Maurice White. Barry White. Same thing. Go back and study real producers like Gamble and Huff and all these people who had musicians in the studio. But they are dictating and telling them what to do and bringing it together like a plate of food. That's amazing. That's what Dre do. So miss me with all that, Suge. Miss me with all that. You're not qualified to talk about Dre. You too much animosity there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I just had to get that off because it's ridiculous how some people. It's ridiculous how people just listen and just want to hate on people, man. Just like people who were successful just want to hate. And then I know y'all gonna come in here and say some hateful stuff. Stop the capping. You always expect that from black people. Always. Some type of hate. Bernie Mac had he had a joke. And he was talking about getting into heaven. And it was like him, a Mexican, and like a Chinese. And they were telling Bernie Mac, you're not on the list. It's a funny joke. I'm not doing it justice, but. And he was like, but you got a chance. If you can ask God a question and he can't answer it, you'll be able to go into heaven. So Bernie Mac walks up and whispers into God's ear. God looks and like, open up the gate. So the Mexican is like, that ain't fair, man. How he got up in there? So he went up to God and he was like, God, what he asked you? You know what he asked him? When will black people stick together? Rewind that if you don't get it. And he's on some real shit. Ain't nobody can answer that, because all we like to do is hate. So thank you guys for watching. Leave the hateful comments. It don't bother me. I'm from a different era when this didn't exist. We was taught to have thick skin. You want to tell me something, come see me in my face. You leaving some comments and typing something is not going to affect one iota of my life or day. So leave it. Peace. And salute to my true subscribers out there. Even if you disagree, salute. I'm out.